Welcome to the Creative Business Community Podcast, the space where creativity meets business. I'm Erin Madeley, and each episode will dive into the stories, strategies, and insights that help creative entrepreneurs turn their passion into a thriving business. Whether you're a maker, designer, artist, theatre goer, or small business owner, this is your community. Together, we'll explore the wins, the challenges, and the lessons learned along the way. So grab a cuppa, get comfortable, and let's jump into today's conversation with the creative business community. Hey everyone, welcome back to the podcast.
Hello, Ronnie and Erin here.
Thanks for joining us again. This week we are talking about social media, but not just social media, because obviously it's a very broad topic.
Yeah, we thought we'd break it up a little bit and put it into bite-sized pieces.
Yes.
And so this week specifically, we're talking about scheduling software.
Yeah.
Whether you need it, what it is, what it does.
And how you can use it to help you in your life. Some of the ones that we've used over the years, what we like and don't like.
And what it isn't as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So Ronnie here is our expert in this area, since social media is her jam, more so than mine. Mostly I just consume.
Yes.
These days, that's where I spend my time, consuming social media. So, we're going to talk about this in detail because we know social media can feel super overwhelming. It can also be one of those things that you keep thinking about and never getting around to. And then social media scheduling software really helps you to tackle that side of it.
So basically, any sort of scheduling software at its base, they can do other things, but at its base, it should allow you to schedule in your social media posts so that you can batch schedule when you have the chance, as opposed to posting sporadically and without a clear plan. Yes.
And a plan, I think, is key here, is that you plan to sit down and put your content out as opposed to flying by the seat of your pants. It's going to help you give yourself structure.
Yes, and it also will likely let you see your content calendar. So you'll know what is coming up, and you might also, depending on which social media scheduling software you have, it can also show you what your feed will look like. So if you are concerned about aesthetics or consistency or not posting the same thing over, you can actually have a visual, for the visual people of us. It will auto-publish your posts.
So what do you mean by auto-publish?
It means that you don't have to go in and approve post it every time it comes up.
Yeah,
basically.
So basically, once you put it into the software, whatever software you choose to use, that's it. Your job is done in terms of getting content out.
Yes, and you can batch it, so you can put an hour aside and schedule content for a month. You can schedule content for 2 months. You can, whatever you want to do. However, I would caution you against relying solely on scheduled content. So
why is that?
Because we want to make sure that our content is relatable, and especially for a small business owner, you have behind the scenes things that happens as you live your life. So I would suggest, yes, schedule your content, but then also don't be just off social media. Post to a story when you've got something interesting on. Put polls in your story. Sorry. You can do a lot of this with most social media content. You can post this, but you might not have the light bulb moment or the creative spark to do something that you do in the moment. So whilst you're working on something, you might be like, this would make a good reel, let's quickly film this. Or this would quickly post about this on social media. Those kinds of things that happen organically can help you reach your audience in a way I think that just normal posting not necessarily would.
I think a really great way to look at it is that it's a great stepping stone or building block for an overall content strategy.
Yes.
So it shouldn't be the be all and end all, but that's kind of how I feel like everything for social media is. Like, you don't want any one thing to be the be all and end all, but it should be like the foundations
of whatever else it is that you're
Yes.
putting on your social media. So, you plan out, you're like, oh, I'm going to, have a product launch on this day. I can plan my content in the lead up to that. And then you can do those behind the scenes things that you were talking about as an add-on, as an addition.
Yes.
But it also means that if for whatever reason life happens and you don't have an opportunity to do that in the moment stuff, you at least still have content going out.
Yep, absolutely. And just because you're scheduling content that's only one part of social media. The other part is engagement. And you can't schedule engagement because it'll depend on the comments that you would get on your post. It'll depend on the interactions that you have from the scheduled content. So you still do need to go on social media once a day, once every few days, and do that engagement because that the algorithm likes when you engage. If you can show that you are
Actively,
active,
you lose.
Yeah, you're not just posting and leaving.
Yeah.
They want you to be a user of Instagram as well as a poster to Instagram.
Yeah.
Facebook, it's a little bit up in the air. Facebook is more based on what people's interests are that they will see. But it's also important to do both because they've got different demographics.
And what about TikTok?
Again, it's a different demographic. I actually find it tricky scheduling in TikTok. I think you have to do it through like their website. And so because I think TikTok is very much designed for the people, not the businesses.
Yeah.
So the idea is that it's not so much about having X amount of posts, and it's like it's a different type of advertising. TikTok is more targeted to a younger generation, and they don't want to be sold to. They want to be entertained.
Yeah.
So
you have to be mindful of that when you're
Yes.
planning out your content and scheduling it.
Absolutely. And so in the same vein, Facebook is targeted to an older audience because more older people have got Facebook versus younger people. And so you have to, we've talked about this in terms of like advertising and stuff, but just to retouch, you do need to be aware of who your potential audience is and your target market are, because that's going to tell you where you're going to be putting your energy into.
Well, it also tells you things around like what day of the week and what time to post and things like that as well, right?
Yes, that's very useful. So most social media, like actually Meta Business does this, and I will talk about this now because there is a lot of scheduling softwares that are paid for, but Facebook and Instagram, like Meta, have their own scheduling software within Meta Business. So you'd need to have a business account set up, and then you can actually schedule all your content within that. Now, the best place for your analytics would be the Meta Business Suite because it is native. It is native to that. So Facebook has got the best place where it can pull its own information and give you that in an easily digestible information. It's not difficult to schedule on Meta. I actually do that for my hobbyist account. I schedule through Meta, but for our business, we use Loomly. And the reason we do that is for multiple reasons, but the main one is because we can have many, many, many accounts.
Yeah.
And as part of we run multiple different markets under different brand headings. And we also offer social media services to small business clients. And so we do need access to a lot of the ability to post to a lot of different accounts.
Yeah. And it's really good when you use these sorts of softwares, and Loomly is what we use. It's not what we've always used. It's just what we use now and what we find works for us right now. But it means that we can look at a calendar and see what's going on, what channel when. So, it does give you that you're not just looking at any one channel. You can look at everything all at once for any particular brand. And then it's quite easy to swap between the different brands.
Yeah.
So when we're talking about social media scheduling software, obviously we've mentioned Loomly. That's what we use. We also mentioned the Meta Business Suite. If you've got like Instagram and Facebook, set up your own business account so that you can do it through there. That doesn't cost you anything. But there are a lot of other different ones out there. So Later, Plannerly, Buffer, Metricool, Hootsuite, Kajabi.
Yeah,
there's all kinds of different ones.
And there are so many that if you research them all, you're going to get stuck in like an eternal like hell.
There are a lot of really great blogs out there though that do a bit of a side-by-side comparison as to what different platforms do different things.
So I think for smaller businesses, something like Later or Plannerly, I have found personally useful.
We used to use Later.
Yeah,
We
because
just got
it's
to a
really good
point
for like if you
where-
need like one account to post to or
Yeah.
2 accounts to post to.
Yeah.
It's difficult
We
if you have
kinda
to switch
outgrew it.
between accounts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we outgrew it. So that's why we shifted to Loomly. And then there's something like, I think it's Metrical and Kajabi. They're both like kind of more targeted to social media agencies.
Well,
So
Kajabi is also more of a, like an all-in-one platform that does more than just social media
Yeah.
scheduling as well. Yeah. So Kajabi is an all-in-one system that gives you the ability to plan and grow your business. So it'll take payments, all your marketing is fully connected. It gives you a centralized view of your business, tools to help you do things like build websites, all that sort of stuff.
so it's a very all-in-one.
It's a very
like,
all-in-one, like, so
Mhm.
that's, you know, different again. But also with a lot of these different scheduling softwares, there often is like a free or a really low cost starting platform.
Yeah.
Some of them will give you like a 7-day free trial. Remember to set yourself a reminder to go and look at that if you don't want to go more than 7 days, because otherwise you end up paying for multiple things that you don't need. But it is very much worth, you know, looking at if you can start on a free platform
Yeah.
so that you don't have to, you know, break the
Yeah.
bank.
So something like TikTok won't be on Meta Business Suite. So if you want to post predominantly to TikTok,
You're going to
then
need
you-
to find something that
yeah, you
helps
need to
do that.
research what actually works predominantly for TikTok. We have been starting to kind of build up our own TikTok accounts, and not TikToks because I'm cool like a Gen Z.
Or
X.
Gen Alpha.
What am I?
You're a millennial.
I'm a millennial. But what? That's a Gen Z, right?
Gen Z is after millennial. They're a whole different generation, Ronnie.
Oh yeah, we're Gen Y. That's a millennial.
Is it?
Yeah, Gen X is above us. Then it's us, the millennials, Gen Y. Then it's Gen Z, and then our children are
Gen Alpha.
Gen Alpha, and now we're in Gen Beta.
Oh my gosh. We've gone through the
I
whole
find this stuff so
alphabet.
fascinating.
Oh.
Why did they start at X?
I don't know.
Why did they do that?
Because they're crazy. And who are they anyway?
The powers that be
The powers that be.
decided they're going to start at because the world was going to apparently end
Ah.
in 2012, so there was not going to be any need for any further generations. So
Well, it was
that's why
supposed to end in
Gen Alpha.
2000, right? Y2K. It was going to be a thing.
Yeah. Well, it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm like, start at A. It's the beginning of the alphabet.
Okay.
This makes me really angry.
Okay.
So I'm going to talk about this like scheduling software so I can calm down.
Okay. But yes.
So why would you need it?
Yeah.
We're touching on the fact if you've got multiple accounts, then definitely if you're running someone else's social media, then definitely like look into ones that do that. But I think as a starter, if you are happy to post 1 to 2 times casually, or if you're starting to build up your brand, definitely just start with a free one.
Yeah.
And schedule content within the TikTok website, which is a pain, but
You can do it.
you can do it. Yeah.
But the other thing that you can do is talk to people who do something similar to you and ask them what they use.
Absolutely.
So, you know, it's not a thing that you have to do in isolation. We're, you know, it's the creative business community. Well, we're a community. Talk to people and ask, you know, what is everyone using? There are a lot of different places that you can go and ask the same question. Facebook groups are a great place to go and ask. Go onto Reddit. There's lots of different Reddit boards where people talk about these sorts of things.
Don't trust AI.
Don't trust AI.
We've said this before. I think we need to put it on t-shirts. Don't trust AI.
Nope.
It gives you the wrong information.
Oh,
Just
all
as
the
simple
time.
as that. Like it will give you like outdated information, and don't rely on that. Do your
Yeah.
own research. It's a pain.
Yeah.
But
Do
don't
it
trust
anyway.
AI. So like we said, we would recommend starting out for free.
Yeah.
I feel like once you grow a bit more and you kind of get into a flow of it, then you can look at the paid ones. But starting out for free, I think, is really important because you can kind of get into the habit of doing it because
And it's going to give you a
that's-
good idea whether or not it even works for you.
yeah. And that's the next thing I want to talk about. It's social media scheduling software is not a strategy. It's a tool.
Yeah.
You still need a strategy when you post to social media. It's
Yeah.
really important that you, even with the software, you still have this plan, and the plan needs to meet your overarching business goals.
Yeah.
So if you've got that, the fancy goal setting steps,
Yes.
the scheduling to social media should reflect the
Goals.
that are the ultimate overarching thing that you want. So I'll give you an example, but like if you are launching a new product, you're launching a new product and you want to sell that product via your website. Your overall social media strategy for that product should be to drive traffic to your website, which means that the content that you post will need to have a call to action that drives people to go to your website. And this needs to be easy to do.
Yeah.
We've talked about the consumer's journey before, but it needs to be a simple thing to do, and it needs all of your posts needs to be directed at this particular goal.
But without shoving it down people's throats.
Yes,
I think
exactly. But we're gone are the days where you're posting every day.
No.
That is not going to work anymore. That is going to negatively impact your engagement because people are going to be sick of you. So it used to be like, I remember back even 4 or 5 years ago, the strategy was we would post every day. And that would
when we
boost up
first started,
engagement.
it was multiple times every day.
Yeah, when you had to have like 30 hashtags on a post. That's not the case anymore. Now it's about organic growth and reaching your people because the Instagram algorithm and the Facebook algorithm are, well, the AI that kind of like reads your post, it's smarter. It can interpret what you are saying without 1,000 hashtags, and it can push your information out to the right people. But you need to use proper wording. So you need to pretend basically, you have to consider, what are people going to Google to come to my product? And then answer that question that they're going to Google within your Instagram posts. So that is why I'm saying have a strategy. You need to understand.
It's not just about pretty pictures.
Yeah. It's long gone about pretty pictures. People want real. They want you to actually answer a question.
Answer a question, provide information,
Yeah.
show them how your product is going to solve their problems. But you can't just show them once. You have to show them multiple times and in multiple ways. And you also have to explain it in a caption or in a graphic or with
Because
text
I don't know
over an image.
if people notice, we have said this before, but recently, I think in the last like 6 months or so, Instagram has changed where it can actually it's linked into Google. So if you Google something, the search engine optimization of your Instagram page will actually link into Google, and Google will give your Instagram page as an answer to that question when someone Googles it. So that's why I say, like, ask the question. So yes, you can schedule all the content, but if the content isn't the kind of quality that stimulates the algorithm, you're not going to get any engagement, and then it's no point.
Yeah. And when we're talking about engagement, it's not just like people liking your posts, it's people commenting, the amount of time that people are spending looking at it.
Yes.
Whether or not, if you do a carousel, if they're swiping across on it. So, I mean, we've just gone a bit down the road of.
But yeah, engagement is, don't look at your like counts because likes have gone down. It used to be the case where 10% of your likes on every post should be about 10% of the amount of followers that you had. That is maybe a third or a fourth now. Like, you're not going to get likes because people don't like posts anymore. What they do is they view it multiple times, or they share it privately to someone, or they copy a link, or they look at the comments. And all of those things are things that Instagram actually picks up on and what Facebook picks up on. So definitely don't worry about like how many likes you're getting, but that's why what I said before, your analytics is so important. And so if you're going to pay for a scheduling software,
you want one that includes that information.
Absolutely.
Honestly, I think it's the biggest reason to get it is that you get additional resources to help you. So, you know, yes, you can go through and manually look at all of this information on each individual platform, on clicking on each individual post. But if you want to have a big overview that's going to give you more information and also drill down into the nitty gritty of like the bits and pieces behind the scenes of like, what time of day are people looking? Where are they looking? Are they on their phone, or are they on a tablet, or are they on a desktop?
What are their ages?
What are their ages? Where are they located?
Like, this information can really help you shape your business plan as well.
Yeah.
Because if you've got access to that information, if you think you're marketing to, you know, a 25-year-old to a 35-year-old, but really all of your engagement is coming for someone that's older, then maybe you need to shift who you're marketing to. It's really
not even just who you're marketing to, but also like if those are the people that are seeing your content, but it's not converting into sales, for example, then something about your marketing needs to change. But if the people who are seeing your content are converting into sales, then maybe your strategy changes to go, okay, well then the demographics of my ideal client are different than what I thought. So like all this information is helpful information, but it's also important that you actually look at it and then do something with it.
And interpret it and actually understand it, which there is a learning curve to any social media scheduling analytics, everything. There is this learning curve that I think it's just going to take time. So for people who are technophobes, and I know that a few of the listeners are, the best way you can get on top of any technology is to play with it.
Yeah.
Tell yourself that, so Canva's an example as well. People don't use Canva because they're terrified of it, and then it goes in the fuck it bucket, the too hard basket.
Yeah.
And they don't touch it. And so they're actually damaging themselves. Whereas if they just became familiar with it, it's not the actual technology that you're scared of, it's the unknown.
Yeah.
Once you understand it, well, just take the chance to just get to know it.
And not only that, but don't just use the first few features that you see, because that's what everyone, like particularly with Canva, if you go, oh, this looks familiar, somebody else has used that exact same template without changing any of the colors, and so your content looks like everyone else's. But play with more than just the basics. I would also say, if you are that person who gets super overwhelmed with the idea of learning this new thing, because like Ronnie has mentioned, you're afraid of what you don't know what you don't know, and you're afraid of what you don't know. YouTube. There are so many YouTube tutorials that are going to walk you through all kinds of different things, whether it's like the basics of learning Canva, or it's going to be like how to use Meta Business Suite to schedule your content. I'm sure there is a YouTube tutorial out there for that.
I mean, I feel like even like Meta will release that kind of things,
sure they
because
would.
I want you to be watching that kind of content and understand.
And that's the thing, is that like these scheduling platforms, they are designed because to help make your life easier. And so they also have blogs that will walk you through different features. They're going to talk to you about the updates to the algorithm. They're going to talk to you about different strategies for different product types. They're going
a lot of them will give you ideas of what to post on any particular day. Like they'll give you like, oh, by the way, just so you know, today's Mother's Day. You might want to do a Mother's Day post on this day. It's quite helpful. And because I mean, especially with the paid service ones, you pay them for a reason, and they know that, and so they want to make it valuable to you. And another thing that is really beneficial, if you think of a service that you could find useful but is not there, they often have really responsive teams that you can email and ask for a specific thing, and they can then incorporate it into their next update.
Yeah.
Or they can give you advice on how to do it. Like it's in the world of like online technology, people have to be responsive, and they've got really good customer service. Like we found that Loomly has got excellent customer service.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it should for what we pay for it. But so we've talked a little bit about like the benefits of using these sorts of things. But one of the things that I think we haven't touched on yet is like freeing up headspace.
Yes.
So I'm a big fan of freeing up headspace as much as possible by using tools and software and your team around you, if you have one, so that you don't have to constantly be thinking about things all the time. If you use something like social media scheduling software and you've got it planned out, you go, right, this day, every week, I sit down and I plan out some content, whether it's for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, or if it's fortnightly, whatever it might be. But you then don't have to constantly be thinking about, oh my God, have I got something out there? Oh, have I promoted this new product? Oh my goodness, have I told everyone I'm going to be at this event? Well, you don't have to worry about that anymore because you've already taken care of it.
Yes. And also when you sit down and you do like batch scheduling, you kind of get into a groove and you actually are faster. Whereas if you do it sporadically, you slow yourself down.
Yeah.
I've noticed that when I kind of get into this head zone, and it's often on my days that I work from home, I just sit there and then I like lock in and I just schedule so many posts, and it's so much faster than if I were to do it like sporadically. Now, like part of my job would be I'd never do it sporadically because like I just forget. But like I said, even with my hobby accounts, I do it. I do that kind of scheduling because it's just easier to just get it all done in once, and then you don't have to think about it again.
Yeah.
You can actually spend all of that beautiful like internal energy on your creativity and your like product design and all the fun things.
All the fun things that you want to be actually spending time on, as opposed to having that sucking mental drain of that whole sucking mental drain of shit. I forgot to do a thing.
Yes, I didn't promote this thing.
I didn't promote the thing, or oh my God, did I do that? Or, whatever it might be. And it also means that you can take time off.
Yes. And it also means that if you've missed something, you can also go back and do it then, like, because everyone has those shower thoughts where they forget to do something, and then like because it clears up I've done all of this, and then those little things can come through, like, I need to post this, and then you can quickly go on there and you can do that. There's nothing stopping you from changing up your plan once you've posted it, but it's just like doing it in the first place that's really important. And I would say if you're running some sort of a release campaign or like a special product or a collaboration, scheduling is key. I know we have to schedule content because we have to get permission from it. For some of our like markets that are sponsored, we have to literally send it off, get permission, and then schedule it in. Based on where like the people that are sponsoring us
or the people who've hired us, or whatever it might be, that you've got specific things, and if you make the time to do it, it actually happens, as opposed to if you don't. So I mean, I feel like we've covered quite a lot of things, but one of the things that we've not mentioned, or we've kind of touched on, but we haven't said like what the best is, because there is no one right answer for this. And when it comes down to it, the best scheduling software that you can have is one you actually use. So that's where we talk about that whole thing of go and have a play, go use those free trials and see what the functionality is like and whether or not it's going to be something that actually works for you. Yeah.
And another key takeaway I think is like, don't just go for the most expensive one, because the most expensive ones are really kind of targeted to agencies. So don't think I'm spending so much money, I'm going to get the best one. Like, actually research it and actually consider what is it that you do. Like, so audit what you are currently doing and how that would fit into your life. And then, like Erin said, play with those free trials.
And so when we're talking about auditing what you're currently doing, we're talking about not just if you are already using a software and you're thinking about changing to something else, but also, what kind of content are you currently putting out? Did you want to change the kind of content you're putting out? Do you want to change the platforms that you're on in terms of what social media platforms you're using? You need to go and look at all of those details before you make a decision as to what software you use, because all of that information will inform that decision.
Absolutely. So I think we can probably wrap it up with our creative business spotlight.
As you all know, every week we give a shout out to a creative business that we think is great and that you should go and check out. And so, Ronnie, who are we checking out this week?
This week we're shouting out Modern Homewares, who's one of our regular store holders that come to our markets. They make handmade homewares, as the name might imply. So aprons, doorstops,
microwave bowl cozies. So, when you take your bowl out of the microwave and it's too hot to hold.
Those things are amazing. Oh my gosh.
And oven gloves. I've got some oven gloves of theirs.
Just if you think of like homewares that you would like in your home that's handmade with a touch of love, Modern Homewares is kind of like a perfect go-to. And they're just really, really friendly, and they're kind, and they're just amazing people. So we will link all of their details in the show notes below. And go check them out.
That brings us very nicely to the end of the episode. Thanks for chatting social media scheduling with me, Ronnie.
Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for listening, Erin. And thank you for listening, listeners.
Yes. And as always, if you have any topics that you would like us to cover, any questions, reach out or post in our community on Facebook, which is called the Creative Business Community Hub.
Yes. And with that, we'll leave you to go and do some research about scheduling softwares.
And we'll catch you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us on the Creative Business Community Podcast. We hope today's conversation inspired you and gave you ideas to grow your own creative business. If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to follow or subscribe so you never miss out on the next one. You can also connect with our community on Facebook, Instagram, and via our website. Just search Creative Business Community. Until next time, keep creating, keep learning, and keep building the business you love.